Oh, yeah.
Which may also surprise you.
We'll try. Oh, that's not how you do it. There we go. So this is the II bird.
I'm Ray McDonald, the temporary animal care supervisor for Pride.
She's been promoted since this video.
I'm here to talk to you
We had
about
an II bird,
birds and
which is
they're out in the forest.
very unique critter.
They go to deadfall, they tap on
That only the
deadfall,
San Francisco
which
has.
liberations,
Or-
which tells them
I'm sorry, Denver just recently acquired them, so you can see it has.
and they use them to like incisors to tear open that
It's a
wood.
symbol.
Now there is
We've got some cute baby photos somewhere.
Why are you guys a director, not nonprofit?
That's a great question. So we're looking at we'd like to do a hybrid account, director. We want to do nonprofit status, but we also want to take advantage of the partner status. Something that we're looking at doing, which was a really touchy subject and we talked about for a really long time, was taking advantage of advertising. Was something that we were thinking about doing. So obviously on our website, people come to our website, we do not want them to leave. Come to the zoo, learn about the zoo, watch our videos, watch our Twitter stream. The behavior that we hope to get out of that is a visit to the zoo. So the last thing we want to do is, hey look, it's the new Jaguar. Click on this ad and go check out a car. We don't really want that to happen. For YouTube, on the other hand, with Insight, we're able to see that there are people all over the country and all over the world that are watching our videos. So realistically, probably 90% of these people may never have the chance to go to the San Francisco Zoo. So, kind of on the side, we sort of feel like it's okay to sacrifice their eyeballs to possibly bring in some revenue to offset the cost of podcast production and new media. And so basically, long story short, what we're looking for is we're working with YouTube right now and trying to figure out what's the best way to do that. So it's we've been having trouble. Our marketing and PR department's like, God, I can't get anyone on the phone over there. Like, I just don't know what's going on. You know, they're a massive site with so much going on, so it's really hard to get a hold of them. Yeah.
Could you say again what it is you wanted to do with that? Because I was confused. It sounded like at first you said you wanted people to come to the zoo.
Yes. So
And then later you're now starting to change your tune. You wanted to stay at the site.
well, so the purpose of I was using the website as an example. So this question was regarding what's the end behavior that we want. On the website, people visiting the website, we're a resource for information, for education. The end behavior is get excited about the zoo and come visit. So obviously, if you're in the Bay Area, we want you to visit the website, learn more about the zoo, what we have in store. We'll teach you a little something, and then hopefully you can come to the zoo. With our videos, it's the same thing, with the exception that most of our videos are being watched on youtube.com/sfzoo. So they're being watched by a different demographic. The people are seeking our content out not necessarily because they're interested in visiting the zoo, because they're restricted geographically, and so they want to see the baby gorilla, they want to see the baby tiger cubs.
So the purpose of getting to come to the zoo is it to support the zoo? You want the $20 they pay to come in the doors?
14, 15 bucks. Yeah. Well, ultimately, so the zoo's mission is inspiring caring for nature, advancing conservation action, basically care, connect, and conserve. In order to achieve that mission, we need to sustain operations and keep the place running. Admission revenue, I think, makes up about half of our revenue stream. So we're a nonprofit. We do a lot of donations. The development department's always working hard for donations and grants, but we definitely we want to keep the stream of people coming to the zoo so we can continue doing what we do. With regards to the podcasts, we don't post the video of the cute baby animal so that hopefully you'll pay 15 bucks and come to the zoo. We post the video of the cute baby animal so that we can connect with you guys and create that transparency so you can kind of have a sense of what's going on in the zoo. That's sort of the theme of our podcast. We call it Behind the Scenes at the San Francisco Zoo. So it's that really candid, like almost as if the penguin keeper was shooting it. Angle at the behind the scenes aspect of the zoo. So I wanted to just quickly get into the demographics here for age. So this is one video with 10,000 views. So it's hard to see can you guys see that? Yeah, so look at this, 45 to 54. I'm not entirely sure how YouTube is creating this. I don't know if it's coming from like people with user accounts, and you enter in your birth date, and that's how they're figuring out, or if there's another way. We found this really, really interesting. We thought this was going to be opposite, and the 13 to 17, 18 to 24 were going to be the two largest demographics. 35 to 44, 45 to 54 are actually the two largest demographics, making up 25, almost 50, more than 50% of our views of this specific video. We've noticed the trend throughout all of our videos. People are over the age of 35. So that was really, really interesting to us, because before YouTube gave us this view into our demographics, we were really we were lowering the bar when we were producing the podcast and the videos, thinking that a much younger audience was watching them. Now that we can see this data, we know, wow, okay, we can really start to get technical and scientific with our audience, because our audience is a lot older than we thought. Yeah.
How does that match up with the demographics of your building?
The demographics of our donors are that age. The demographics of like people that are going to attend the zoo, our average visitor is a 25 to 35-year-old affluent mother with kids. Makes up the largest demographic. The problem with that though is when you start to measure this stuff, the largest demographic is that. But we get a whole lot of 20-somethings just coming to check out the zoo. We get a whole lot of couples coming to check out the zoo. We get young kids that come out to the zoo after school to go draw animals. So our demographic is really all over the place. But we try and leverage more towards families. The idea is families with kids, it's kind of that thing. Like everyone here probably grew up, and at one point when you were a child, you went to the zoo. Because as a parent, you want to teach your kid about the natural world and to be able to connect and see animals up close. So you come to the zoo.
Do you know if this is people that view video from your site, or if they just view it from your website, such as cuteoverload.com?
Yeah.
I would imagine that
So let's
video
find
is
out.
really
We
popular.
have discovery right here. 39% of the views are coming from the embedded player. I don't think it'll tell us where that. Look at this. I don't know what that site is, but it pushed 33%.
You should know.
Denver Zoo. I've noticed something really weird about these stats. A lot of times you'll go on these pages and you won't find the video. So I don't know if there was a link to the video at some point or what happened. For example, why the Denver Zoo decided to post our podcast, I'm not really sure. I can guarantee it wasn't on the homepage.
I'm just saying that if it's an embedded player, that you're more likely to get tagged as good content from other social aggregators,
Yeah.
like Pop URLs or QOverloader or something like that. So you might want to, you're saying invest more in technology, invest more into your site. I'm saying that it's probably more about the content itself that gets distributed socially.
Yes, I'm sorry. When I said with regards to revenue production from the podcast and what that would help offset, that's more of a better tripod because ours just won't stand long. Basically the technology to support our social media and our embedded players and less of our website. It's interesting because our website captures. Let me sign out here. Our website captures the embedded content that really runs kind of on its own, and we run the YouTube channel on its own as well.
Yeah, I imagine your gift shop sells camera equipment, things like that. You might want to talk to your buyers and see if they have a contact with a company and see if they donate equipment
Yeah, well, so
rather than spending money.
yeah, equipment. So that's an interesting way it evolved. When we first started, we worked with, I forgot what it's called. It was a little like high-end Canon video camera, really low quality. You probably buy one for like $200 now. And that's what we're starting to shoot all of our podcasts on. People that work at the studio that have nicer cameras, we're bringing in those cameras, and we're shooting the podcast on just this wide assortment of different hardware. It started to stick, and the people that were a little standoffish regarding podcasts and new media started to see these numbers and realize, wow, there's an interesting action going on here. Look at all these comments, look at this community that's starting to develop around our content. So eventually, we actually invested in a Canon GL2, so we have a really nice 3-chip camera. We've just recently acquired a MacBook Pro to act as another milestone we just achieved last month, to act as a new multimedia workstation. Before